Hello, dear learners. This is A.S. Kulkarni. Welcome you to this presentation on surgical dressings and supplies. In this presentation, we will see surgical supplies. Learning outcome of today's presentation. After completion of the presentation, you will be able to know the various surgical supplies and its applications. Roadmap of this presentation. So in this presentation we will concentrate on surgical supplies. So in this slide we will see surgical supplies. So surgical supplies is nothing but the supplying the surgicals which is required in the hospital. So this service which is given by many pharmacies which is attached to the hospital or other than that. So it consists of supply of catheters, Becton Dickinson sets, that is BD set, Riles tube, intravenous set, blood transfusion set, and other equipments which is required in the hospital. So here all types of surgicals which is supplied by the pharmacies which is attached to the hospital, that is hospital pharmacy or other than that. So here we will see the first, that is catheters. So catheters which is mainly used to collect the urine. So if any unconscious patient or those patients who are unwalkable, so in that cases here the catheters are used to collect the urine. So two types of catheters which are available, that is balloon catheter as well as the rubber catheter. So first we will see here the rubber catheter. So you can see in this picture this is a rubber catheter, so which are available with the different types and the size. So here the number which is given to that particular catheter, so it depends on the size of this particular rubber catheter. So it is prepared by using the rubber material, so with closed tip. So you can see in this picture, so this tip which is a closed one, and these are flexible in nature. So here this particular rubber catheter which are made by using the rubber material, and the other end which is open here, so which is funnel shape and which is attached to the another tube of the collection unit, so directly attached to the urine bag. So at the inserted end there is a wide holes which acts as a channel to flow. So in this side or at this side there is an holes which is present on these surfaces, so which acts as a channel to flow the urine. So by using this rubber catheter here the urine which is collected. So next here we will see the another type, that is balloon catheter. It is also called as a Foley's catheter. So you can see in this picture, so at the inserted side end, so there is a balloon. So that's why the name which is given to this particular catheter is Foley's or the balloon catheters. So at the inserting site it has an balloon. So this balloon provides safety to the tip of the catheter in the patient bladder. So here at this much, but that is catheter which is inserted to the up to the patient bladder. So this particular balloon which helps up to this much end. So the balloon has an capacity from 5 to 30 ml, and the 30 ml catheter it is also called as hemostatic catheter. So this particular Foley's catheter or the balloon catheter which is used for dialysis purpose also. So these are the two types of catheter, that is rubber catheter and the Foley catheter. So this particular catheter which are mainly used to collect the urine in case of unwalkable and unconscious patient. Let's see the next surgical here, that is BD set, that is Becton Dickinson set. So it consists of syringe and a needle. You can see in this picture. So syringe as well as the needles which are composed of this particular BD set. So here glass syringe which is sterilized by autoclave. If this particular BD set which is made by using the glass material, so at that time they can be sterilized by using the autoclave method. So this BD needle has a bevel, body and the shoulder, and the nozzle can be locked by applying the metal lever. So at this nozzle side there is a metallic lever. So by applying the pressure here, we can stop or we can open the nozzle of this particular syringe or this set. So this particular BD set which are used to collect fluid from the body cavity. It also used to collect the blood from the donors, and it also used to administer the drug by intramuscular route. So these are the application of this BD set. So let's move to the another one. So here we will see the Ryle's tube. So the length of this Ryle's tube is about the 30 inches. So here at the one end there is an oral bulb, so which helps to swallow this particular Ryle's tube, as well as, so you can see in this inserted side or this particular oral bulb side, so there is an hole, so it helps to flow the fluids. So the bulb which has an siliconized, so you can see in this small picture, so this particular bulb which has siliconized and smooth outer surfaces to reduce the chances of a tissue irritation. So the irritation with the tissue can be avoided by making this particular surfaces in smooth or by using the siliconized type of this particular tube. So it is mainly used to give fluid or drugs to the patient. So some patient which are unconscious or they will not be swallow the drug, so at that time by using the Ryle's tube we can inject or we can introduce the fluid or the drug material to the patient. Also it is used for the stomach wash in case of the poisoning. Also we can use this particular Ryle's tube for gastric juice analysis, and also this Ryle's tube used to deflect the stomach in case of GIT, gastrointestinal tract obstruction. So this is about the Ryle's tube and its application. Let's move to the another surgical. So here we will see the blood transfusion set, that is BT set. So the BT set is made up of the plastic material and it is a sterile one, and its pathway is non-pyrogenic. So it is a non-toxic and it is used for a single use only. So this particular blood transfusion set which is used once. So it has different parts like spike with the cover. So you can see in this picture. So this is an spike cover. Inside this there is an spike. So it helps to make the hole at the blood bottom. So another is there, that is a drip chamber. So you can see in this particular picture. So this is a drip chamber. So another part is there, that is the filter. So this filter help to filter the some clotted blood inside that when it comes at the side of this particular filter. So it is made by using the nylon material. So also the another part is there, that is a roller cam. So you can see in this picture, so this red one is an roller cam. So inside this there is an circular disc which helps to control the flow of blood at the time of the insertion or the introduction. So another part is there, that is tubing. So you can see this particular is called as a tubing here, so which helps to convey the blood from the blood bottle to the site of administration. So also cannula is there. So you can see in this picture, so this is an cannula, so which helps to attach the tube and the another section, that is the needle. Next is that is the injection site. So you can see this is an injection site, so you can use the syringe and needle for the introduction of any drug material, for example the anticoagulant or the another one. Also next part is there is a needle cover. So you can see in this picture, so inside this there is a needle, so this particular outer material is called as the needle holder, so which helps here to hold the needle. So another one is needle, so for injecting the blood here, and the next part is here, that is the needle protector, so which helps to protect the needle. So these are the some components of the blood transfusion set, so which are made by using high density plastic substance or the low density plastic substance, so which are mainly used to deliver, measure and regulated blood and blood component to the patient. So this is about the blood transfusion set. Let's move to another surgical. So here we will see the intravenous set, that is IV set. So it has also the different parts. So it is also made by using the plastic material, some high density plastic material or some low density plastic material. So the first part of this particular intravenous set is spike cover. So here you can see the spike cover, so which is cover which has used to cover the spike one, so it protects the spike. Next part is there, that is spike one. So inside this spike cover there is an spike, so which helps to make the hole to the infusion bottles. So another one is here, that is a drip chamber. So you can see in this picture, this is a drip chamber. So at the base there is an filter, so the another part is there, that is filter, so it helps to filter that particular IV fluids at the time of introduction. Another part is here, that is PVC tubing. So you can see this particular is an PVC tube, so which help to convey the IV fluids from the bottles to the site of administration. So another one is here, that is flow regulator. So you can see in this picture, this is a flow regulator, so which helps to control the flow of infusion at the time of the introduction. Another one is here, that is injection site. So you can see in this picture, so this is an injection site. So by using this particular injection site, we can introduce the small volume parenteral also. Next, that is adapter. So you can see this button, so which adapters which are used to attach the needle for the introduction purpose, for insertion purpose. And last one, that is needle. So you can see inside this needle protector there is a needle, so which helped to insert this particular needle at the time of introduction. So these are the some parts which are in this particular IV set. So here the main use of this particular IV set to introduce the large volume parenterals. So it is used to deliver the IV infusions, that is intravenous infusions, or the injection over long period of time. So here some requirements are required for in case of IV set. That is, it should be sterile and non-pyrogenic. Also, it should be free from particulate matter, and it should be easy in the handling. So these some requirements are required in case of IV fluids. So here in case of intravenous set, so some tests which are performed like the safety test. So we can see this particular safety test in next slide. So here we will see the safety test of the intravenous set. So because it is essential to perform this test before using this particular IV set, because we are directly introducing the large volume parenterals to the blood. If there is any unsterile or pyrogenic material which is present, or some microorganisms which is present with this particular IV set, or some extractable material which is present, so they will directly affect to the patient up to the serious condition, because we are using here some polymeric product for preparation of this IV set. So that's why it is essential to ensure the safety with the IV set. So we will see here that particular test. So here a single IV set which is selected for this particular test, so, and which is filled with 0.9% weight by volume of sodium chloride, that is normal saline solution. So after filling, they are placed in an autoclave with 80 degrees centigrade for 1 hour. So this particular filled IV set which is placed in the autoclave for the 1 hour with the temperature that is 80 degree centigrade. So after completing this particular time, the filled solution which is removed in a particular beaker, and here that particular solution which is injected to the healthy mice. So this particular solution which is injected 5 healthy mice with 0.5 ml dose, and this mice which is observed for 4, 24 and 80 hours. So if the IV set is safe, then animal doesn't show any toxicity. So if it shows the toxicity to the mice, or the mice which show the toxicity, then here is an essential to save that particular IV set, or IV set to be safe. So this is about the safety test which is performed on the IV set to check the safety. So we can move to another surgical here, so that is syringes. So all are knows about the syringes. So it is a hollow calibrated device intended to administer accurate dosage of the liquid medicines. So these are categorized on the basis of different factors. So here the first, that is capacity factor. So these syringes which are classified on the basis of capacity. Second, that is on the basis of the application where it is used, and the third one on the basis of the material used for the manufacturing of the syringes. So we'll see the first one. So on the basis of capacity, the syringes which are classified in 3 classes, that is small syringes, so which have less than 10 ml capacity. Next, that is a medium syringes, so the capacity of this particular syringes in between 10 to 100 ml. And third, that is large syringes, the capacity of these syringes is about 500 ml. So second category, that is on the basis of application, so where or the for what purpose it is used. So first, these particular syringes which are categorized or in the hypodermic syringe, bulb syringe, and the gravity syringes. So the third, on the basis of the materials used for the manufacturing of syringes. So here the syringes which are categorized under glass syringes and the plastic syringes. If this particular syringe which is made by using the glass material, so we can use for more than one time. So these are the reusable syringes. So after proper sterilization, we can use that particular glass syringes more than one time. So if that particular syringe which is made by using the plastic material, so these are the disposable. So these particular syringes which are used once. So this is about the syringes. So here in next slide we will see the plastic syringes here. So here plastic syringes which are classified into two types, that is 2-piece syringe and the 3-piece syringes. So here this particular classification or the types on the basis of how many parts which is present in the syringes. So the name itself indicate that 2-piece syringe, so 2 parts which is present in this syringe, and in 3-piece syringes 3 parts present in this syringe. So let's see here, this in 2-piece syringes or these 2-piece syringes consist of 2 parts, that is barrel and plunger. So this is an barrel and this is an plunger. So only 2 parts is there. So that's why the name which is given, that is 2-piece syringes. So next one, that is 3-piece syringes. So it consists of 3 parts, that is barrel, plunger, and the rubber gasket. So this particular syringe consists of 3 parts. That's why the name which is given as 3-piece syringes. So this is about the plastic syringes with the different parts. Let's move to another. Here we'll see the bulb syringes. So bulb syringes which is used where the sterility is not concerned and the fluid is to be administered in the body cavities like nose, ear, vagina, rectus, etc. So if the sterility which is not necessary at the time of insertion of the fluids or the liquid medicine, so at that time here bulb syringes are used. So here the nature of the bulbs here, length and the tip is varies depending on where it is used. So on this basis of the application, here the nature of bulb and length as well as the tip which depends. So let's see here. So first syringe, bulb syringe, that is ear syringes. So the name itself indicate that these particular syringes which are used to introduce the liquid medicine to the ear. So these are the soft, flexible rubber with a narrow nozzle. You can see in this picture. So these are the soft as well as the nozzle which is a narrow one. So the syringes which are used to insert or introduce the liquid medicines to the ear. Another syringe, that is a nasal syringe. So here the name itself indicate that this particular syringe which are used to introduce or insert the liquid medicine to the nasal. So these are the soft bulb which having 10 ml capacity and the tip may be glass or hard plastic. So you can see in this picture the tip which are made by using the glass material, and these particular bulbs which are made by using the rubber material. So these are used to introduce the liquid medicines to the nasal cavity. Another here, that is a rectal syringe bulbs. So you can see in this picture, these are the rectal syringe bulbs which have long and narrow nozzles, and the capacity of this particular rectal syringes is about the 100 ml, and it can be administered the enema. So for enema purpose, this particular syringes, or that is the rectal syringes, which are used. So this is about the bulb syringes. So these have the three different bulb syringes, that is ear syringes, nasal syringes, and the rectal bulb syringes. So the size and the rubber tip as well as the tip of this particular syringes and the length is depends on where it is used. So let's move to the another one. So here we will see the needles. So needles, we know that though for introduction of the small volume parenterals, the needles and syringes which are used. So here we will see the first one, that is hypodermic needles. So hypo is the below or under. Hypo means below and under, and dermis means skin. So hypodermic needles is nothing but these are the needles which are used to inject or introduce the liquid medicines under the skin. So you can see in this picture, so this is an hypodermic needle. So this needle is a thin hollow tube attached with the plastic hub, so which are mainly used to introduce the small volume parenterals to various routes. So another here we will see that lumbar puncture needle, so which is used to withdraw the cerebrospinal fluid. So the length of this particular needle, that is lumbar puncture needle, is about 10 centimeter long. So which reach at the site of CSF fluids. So these are the needles which are used for the different purposes. Let's move to the another type of needles, that is surgical needles. So these needles are thin and solid, which are mainly used for suturing and ligating purpose, that is to tie the blood vessel as well as for sieving the tissues. So different size and shapes, which is depends on its application, where or what purpose it is used. So you can see in this picture, so these are the some surgical needles which are used for the suturing and ligating purpose. So the first one, that is straight surgical needle is here. Another, that is half curve needle. Here the curve needle, and the last picture or the last needle is an curved round shape. So the shape and the size is depends on the where and what purpose it is used. Let's move to the another, that is aneurysm needle. So this particular needle which is used for the ligating purpose, so to tie the blood vessel and the tissues. So you can see in this picture, so this is an aneurysm needle. So here it has an handle for a grip, and the tip is blunt with curve with the hole. So the tip of this particular aneurysm needle, which is blunt one and curve with the hole. So you can see this is an aneurysm needle, so which have an handle for the grip as well as the tip which is curved one with the hole. You can see in this picture also. So the tip has a blunt one, and here is an hole. So this particular aneurysm needle, which is used for the ligating purpose to tie the blood vessel and the tissues. So this is about the some surgical materials which are used in the hospital. If you have any query or any question, you can drop your question on my WhatsApp number or on my email ID. At last, thank you for patient listening. Thank you very much.